In the glamorous yet ruthless world of high fashion, power is everything, and when one queen steps down, another rises to claim the throne. Welcome to After Anna Wintour, the dark side of fashion's power queens. For decades, Anna Wintour ruled fashion like no other. With her signature bob, dark glasses, and iron grip on Vogue, she didn't just define trends, she defined what it meant to have power in fashion. But now, as whispers of her exit echo through the industry, a new name has begun to dominate the conversation: Victoria Beckham. Once dismissed as a pop star chasing couture dreams, she has quietly built a fashion empire of elegance, minimalism, and influence. Yet behind the pristine runways and celebrity endorsements lies a story filled with ambition, competition, and a struggle for dominance in an industry that eats its own. Some insiders claim that Beckham has become the new face of fashion power, not just because of her designs, but because of her ability to manipulate the media, attract elite clientele, and shape trends without ever needing a magazine cover. Others, however, see her rise as a calculated move of post-Wintour era built on exclusivity, silent feuds, and quiet takeovers. Rumors swirl about tensions between the old guard of Vogue and the new digital empires that favor Beckham's brand of curated perfection. Is she truly the heir to Wintour's empire, or just the most fashionable illusion of control the industry has ever seen? As we dig deeper into the story, we'll uncover the controversies, the backroom deals, and the rivalries that define fashion's new hierarchy. But before we begin this deep dive into glamour and power, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It tells YouTube that you love this kind of bold, investigative storytelling and helps us reach even more viewers who crave the truth behind the sparkle. Your subscription is what keeps this channel alive. And if you want to go one step further, hit that super thanks button. It's a direct way to support our work and help us keep producing high-quality content. But if you can't, no problem, just drop a comment below and tell us what shocked you the most about this power shift in fashion. And make sure you watch until the end, because the final revelation will make you question everything you thought you knew about who really runs the world of fashion. Victoria Caroline Adams, who the world would later come to know as Victoria Beckham, was born on April 17, 1974, in the small town of Goffs Oak, Hertfordshire, England. She grew up in a comfortable, middle-class family with her father, Anthony Adams, an electronics engineer who ran a successful business, and her mother, Jacqueline, a former insurance clerk and hairdresser who later helped manage the family company. Victoria has often described her childhood as safe, but emotionally complex. She wasn't the most popular girl in school and often felt out of place. She has openly talked about being bullied and teased for being shy and a bit different, saying in later interviews that she would sometimes beg her parents not to make her go to school. It was during those lonely early years that she discovered her passion for performance and music. Her parents noticed how much she loved to sing and dance, and they supported her by enrolling her in dance classes at a young age. Eventually, she attended Jason Theatre School and later Lane Theatre Arts, where she studied dance and modeling. She wasn't the loud, confident star she would one day become instead. She was a determined dreamer, quietly focused and deeply ambitious. In the early 1990s, Victoria's big break came when she answered an advertisement in a stage magazine that was looking for girls who could sing and dance. She auditioned and was chosen as one of the 5 members of a new girl group that would later change the face of pop culture, forever the Spice Girls. Alongside Jerry Halliwell, Melanie Brown, Emma Bunton, and Melanie Chisholm, Victoria helped form what became one of the most successful pop groups in history. Each member had a distinctive persona: sporty, scary, baby, Ginger, and Victoria, with her sleek fashion sense, pouty poses, and love for little black dresses, quickly earned the nickname Posh Spice. Although she was quieter and less outspoken than her bandmates, her mysterious, polished aura made her instantly recognizable. She brought sophistication to the group's otherwise wild and colorful energy, and that balance made her a vital part of their identity. When the Spice Girls released their debut single, Wannabe, in 1996, it became an instant global phenomenon, topping the charts in more than 30 countries and spreading the group's message of girl power. a mix of independence, confidence, and fun. Their first album, Spice, sold over 20 million copies worldwide, and the follow-up, Spice World, cemented their place in music history. They became a global brand from music and movies to merchandise and sponsorships. The Spice Girls were everywhere. For Victoria, fame arrived overnight, and with it came enormous pressure. She has said that the experience was thrilling, but also overwhelming. She had to balance intense touring schedules, constant interviews, and endless photo shoots, all while learning how to manage the public image of Posh Spice. The media obsession was relentless. Every outfit, every expression, and every move she made became headline news. Still, Victoria embraced the role with poise and determination. She often said that Posh wasn't just a nickname. It became her armor, a way to control how people perceived her in a world that often tried to tear women down. Her sleek look, straight dark hair, like designer dresses, and that famous pout turned her into a fashion icon before she ever called herself a designer. Yet behind the perfect image, she was still figuring out who she was and what she wanted beyond pop music. By the late 1990s, as the Spice Girls began to slow down, Victoria started exploring her next chapter. She had already met a young football star named David Beckham, and together they would soon become one of the most famous power couples in the world. But even before that, Victoria had already proven something remarkable: that a shy girl from Hertfordshire, who once felt invisible, could rise to the top of global fame through talent, ambition, and sheer self-belief. Her time as Posh Spice wasn't just a pop era. It was the foundation of her evolution, the first act of a story that would transform her from a pop princess into a global fashion powerhouse. Victoria Beckham's personal life and relationships have always been deeply intertwined with her rise to fame, her identity as an individual, and her evolution as a woman in the spotlight. Warm, grounded, and surprisingly private despite her global celebrity, Victoria has built her personal story around loyalty, family, and perseverance through life's challenges. Her most defining relationship, without question, is with her husband, former football superstar David Beckham. The two met in 1997 when Victoria was at the height of her fame as Posh Spice, and David was becoming one of the brightest talents in English football. In a 2016 interview, she fondly recalled seeing him on television and feeling an instant connection, saying that she fell in love with him the moment she saw him, before even meeting him in person. Their relationship blossomed quickly, marked by genuine affection and mutual ambition, and by 1998, they were engaged, a union that instantly captured global media attention. When they married in July 1999 at Lutchelstown Castle in Ireland, the world dubbed them Posh and Becks, turning them into one of the most iconic couples of the modern era. Over the years, their marriage has endured constant public scrutiny, from tabloid rumors to career pressures. Yet both have remained steadfast in their commitment. Together, they have 4 children: Brooklyn, born in 1999, Romeo in 2002, Cruz in 2005, and their youngest, Harper 7, born in 2011. Victoria often describes her children as her proudest accomplishment and her greatest source of strength. Despite her demanding schedule as a fashion designer, she is known to be an attentive, hands-on mother who balances discipline and warmth. She frequently shares glimpses of family life on social media, birthday celebrations, family holidays, and supportive messages for her kids' endeavors, revealing a softer, affectionate side of the woman often portrayed as stoic in public. Still, life as a Beckham hasn't always been perfect. In 2004, their marriage was rocked by allegations of infidelity surrounding David, a period Victoria later described as one of the most painful times of her life. In candid interviews years later, she admitted that it tested their relationship deeply, but ultimately made them stronger, explaining that marriage is a journey, and that real love endures even through heartbreak and disappointment. This transparency humanized her in the eyes of fans, showing that behind the glamorous image lies a woman who, like many, has fought to protect her family and her peace. Beyond her marriage, Victoria's personal relationships extend to a small but loyal circle of friends, including fellow Spice Girls Melanie Brown, Melanie Chisholm, Emma Bunton, and Jerry Halliwell. Although rumors of tension between the former bandmates have persisted over the years, Victoria has always spoken with fondness about the group's legacy, crediting those early years for shaping her confidence and ambition. Her bond with David's family, especially his parents, has also remained strong, reflecting her deeply traditional values. Family dinners, cozy weekends in the English countryside, and shared celebrations have been constants in her world despite the pressures of fame. Today, Victoria and David are seen as one of the longest-lasting celebrity couples, admired for their resilience and ability to reinvent themselves while maintaining a unified front. She often jokes in interviews that after more than 2 decades together, they still make each other laugh, and that humor is the secret ingredient to their lasting relationship. Together, they've built an empire not just of wealth, but of trust, loyalty, and shared dreams. In many ways, their marriage mirrors Victoria's personal philosophy. Love, like success, demands effort, balance, and unwavering commitment. It's this combination of elegance, vulnerability, and strength that continues to make Victoria Beckham not just a style icon, but a relatable and deeply admired figure in the eyes of millions. Victoria Beckham's journey has never been a straight runway lined with perfection. It's been full of struggles, public pressure, and controversies that have shaped her into the resilient woman she is today. Behind the polished image of posh spice and the elegant fashion mogul, there were years of insecurity, criticism, and emotional challenges that she's only recently begun to speak about openly. From the very beginning of her fame in the 1990s, Victoria faced intense public scrutiny. While the Spice Girls were adored worldwide, Victoria often felt singled out for her stoic expression and reserved demeanor, earning her the nickname the Serious One. She once confessed that the media's constant obsession with her appearance and personality made her self-conscious and anxious. It wasn't long before she began struggling with body image issues, something she later admitted in interviews. She revealed that during her early career, she faced immense pressure to stay thin and camera perfect, leading to unhealthy habits and a distorted relationship with food. Looking back, she described that time as emotionally exhausting. She was a young woman trying to live up to an impossible image the press had built for her. As her fame grew, so did the rumors. Her marriage to David Beckham became one of the most publicized relationships on the planet, and with that came endless gossip, paparazzi invasions, and relentless speculation. The hardest moment, she admitted, came in 2004 when tabloid allegations about David's infidelity made global headlines. In her Netflix documentary released years later, Victoria opened up about that period, calling it the most unhappy I have ever been in my entire life. She explained that living under a microscope while trying to protect her marriage and family was almost unbearable, but rather than let it break her, she chose to focus on rebuilding trust, protecting her children, and moving forward privately. The couple's ability to survive those public storms became one of the most remarkable examples of perseverance in celebrity relationships. Beyond her personal life, Victoria also faced harsh judgment in her professional transition from pop star to fashion designer. When she first entered the fashion world, critics dismissed her brand as a vanity project. Some even mocked the idea that a former pop singer could ever be taken seriously in high fashion. Victoria has said that many people even within the industry underestimated her, assuming she was just another celebrity playing designer. The skepticism only fueled her determination, but behind the success stories were also moments of financial struggle and self-doubt. Her brand, launched in 2008, suffered massive losses for years, and at one point she revealed that she almost gave up entirely, saying that the pressure felt like a snowball rolling down a mountain. Yet she refused to quit, gradually proving her critics wrong and earning genuine respect from industry insiders. Despite her refined public persona, Victoria has always acknowledged the emotional toll of maintaining that image. In interviews, she shared how exhausting it was to constantly be labeled posh, to be expected to smile less, dress flawlessly, and appear unshakable. People assumed I was miserable or arrogant, she once said, but I was just shy and nervous. Over time, she's learned to embrace her quieter confidence instead of fighting it. In her 2025 documentary, she admitted that for years she let public perception dictate her self-worth, but today she sees herself differently as someone who's worked incredibly hard, made mistakes, and grown stronger through every challenge. What makes her story so relatable is that beneath the designer gowns and celebrity glamour, Victoria Beckham is, at her core, a woman who has faced judgment, heartache, and failure, and turned them into lessons. Her controversies didn't define her, they refined her. She's proven that behind every seemingly perfect image is a real person, one who had to fight twice as hard to be taken seriously, and who continues to rise, one collection and one honest conversation at a time. Victoria Beckham's career reinvention and entrepreneurial journey is one of the most fascinating transformations in modern pop culture, the evolution of a woman who went from being a global pop star to a respected figure in the world of high fashion. After the Spice Girls dominated the late 1990s with their contagious energy and girl power message, Victoria realized that her true ambitions extended beyond music. When the group disbanded, she tried to establish herself as a solo artist, releasing her self-titled album in 2001. While the project gained moderate attention, it failed to achieve the same global success as her time with the Spice Girls. Rather than seeing that as a failure, Victoria used it as an opportunity to redefine herself. She had always been passionate about style, often recognized as the most sophisticated and fashion-forward member of the group. Her iconic nickname, Posh Spice, wasn't just a stage persona, it represented her deep interest in elegance, tailoring, and personal expression through clothing. What began as a love for designer outfits slowly evolved into a vision for a career in the fashion world. Victoria's first real step into fashion came through collaborations and modeling projects in the early 2000s, including partnerships with major brands and appearances at fashion shows. Her early ventures were often dismissed by critics who saw her as just another celebrity trying to play designer. But she remained focused. In 2008, she officially launched her own fashion label, Victoria Beckham. The debut collection featured a small range of dresses known for their clean lines, sophisticated silhouettes, and impeccable tailoring. The response was unexpectedly positive. Fashion editors praised her minimalist aesthetic, and suddenly, Victoria Beckham was being taken seriously. Over time, her brand expanded into ready-to-wear collections, accessories, and later a beauty line called Victoria Beckham Beauty, launched in 2019. However, the journey wasn't without challenges. For years, her company operated at a loss, and reports surfaced of financial struggles behind the glamorous image. At one point, her label was rumored to be millions in debt, but Victoria continued to invest her time, money, and creativity to keep it alive. She openly admitted in interviews that building a serious brand from scratch was far harder than anyone could imagine. She worked long hours, faced industry skepticism, and had to prove herself in a business known for its exclusivity and ruthless competition. Despite these setbacks, her persistence paid off. Gradually, her collections became staples at New York and London fashion weeks, attracting celebrities and influential buyers alike. Victoria's fashion philosophy was simple yet powerful. I design clothes that I want to wear myself. That authenticity, combined with her natural eye for detail, became the heart of her success. What truly set her apart was her ability to merge her pop culture fame with genuine artistic credibility. She didn't rely on nostalgia from her Spice Girls days to sell clothes. She built an identity that stood independently. Over the years, Victoria Beckham has grown into a luxury brand synonymous with sophistication, modern femininity, and timeless design. Her journey also reflects her entrepreneurial mindset, expanding strategically into cosmetics and fragrance, focusing on sustainability, and building a loyal following of women who admire her quiet confidence. Today, she is widely respected not only as a designer, but also as a businesswoman who has defied stereotypes and proven that reinvention is possible at any stage of life. Her career path is a masterclass in resilience and reinvention, a reminder that success is not about where you start, but about how willing you are to evolve, adapt, and build something truly your own. Today, Victoria Beckham stands as one of the most recognizable and respected figures in the world of fashion and celebrity culture, a woman who has gracefully transformed from global pop star to powerhouse designer and business icon. At 51, she embodies discipline, elegance, and quiet strength, balancing the glamorous life of a fashion mogul with her enduring role as a wife, mother, and public personality. Victoria's life today is a testament to evolution. She's no longer defined by the posh spice label that made her famous in the 90s, but rather by the refined sophistication and hard-earned credibility she has built over the years. Living between her family's London townhouse, their countryside estate in the Cotswolds, and a luxury property in Miami, Victoria enjoys a life of comfort and success, but her daily routine is far from idle. She remains deeply involved in every aspect of her brand, from design concepts and campaign direction to overseeing beauty launches under Victoria Beckham Beauty, the line she founded in 2019. She often shares glimpses of her work on social media, revealing not only her polished aesthetic, but also her wit and warmth, which contrast with the cold fashion ice queen stereotype that once followed her. Family continues to be at the heart of her world. She and David Beckham, after more than 2 decades of marriage, have built a partnership that extends beyond love. It's a brand, a legacy, and a symbol of longevity in an industry that thrives on scandal. Together, they've raised 4 children: Brooklyn, Romeo, Cruz, and Harper, each carving their own paths in the creative world, with Victoria often expressing pride in how grounded they've remained despite their fame. She's been open about how much family means to her, describing their Sunday dinners, shared laughter, and the balance they maintain between their public and private lives. In recent interviews, Victoria has shown more vulnerability than ever before, admitting that the journey hasn't always been easy. She has spoken about facing financial strain in her business, media scrutiny over her marriage, and the pressure of living up to impossible expectations. Yet she has managed to turn every setback into fuel for growth. She has said, "You can't be afraid to fail. You just have to learn from it," reflecting her philosophy of resilience and continuous self-improvement. Her fashion label, once criticized as a vanity project, has now earned critical acclaim for its timeless minimalism, impeccable tailoring, and empowering approach to women's fashion. Victoria's designs, often inspired by her own wardrobe, are a reflection of her identity: sophisticated, modern, and subtly powerful. Beyond fashion, she has also become a voice for women in business, frequently encouraging female entrepreneurs to stay authentic, focused, and fearless. Despite her extraordinary wealth, the Beckhams' combined net worth is estimated at over $500 million. She insists that success for her isn't about luxury but legacy. What truly defines her today is not fame, but purpose. The desire to create something lasting, to inspire through example, and to show that reinvention is always possible. Whether she's laughing about David snoring in interviews or posting behind-the-scenes moments with her team, Victoria Beckham radiates a more relatable and balanced energy than ever before. Her story has come full circle from being seen as a pop culture phenomenon to being celebrated as a businesswoman, designer, mother, and icon of determination. Today, she stands not just as a symbol of style, but of resilience, proving that grace, ambition, and authenticity can indeed coexist in the ever-changing world of fame and fashion. Victoria Beckham's reflections and philosophies offer a genuine window into a woman who has lived every stage of public life, from global fame to personal vulnerability, from glamour to grit. Over the years, her perspective on success, beauty, and self-worth has shifted dramatically, shaped by both triumphs and very public challenges. She often speaks about how fame in her early years with the Spice Girls gave her confidence, but also left her exposed to constant criticism. In interviews, Victoria has said that she once cared deeply about how people perceived her, but over time learned to separate her self-esteem from public opinion. "I used to care so much about what people thought," she admitted, "and now I just don't." You realize that trying to please everyone is impossible, so you might as well be yourself. This simple yet powerful philosophy reflects the maturity that comes with experience. Her reflections are also deeply tied to her family and career. She has emphasized that balance doesn't come naturally, it's something she has to consciously work on every day. Juggling motherhood, Marriage and a global fashion brand has taught her that perfection is an illusion. Instead, she focuses on progress, effort, and self-discipline. "I'm not perfect," she once told Vogue, "but I'm trying to be the best version of myself." Those who know her closely describe her as someone with an extraordinary work ethic, meticulous, organized, and always striving for excellence without losing her humor or humanity. Victoria also reflects often on her early struggles with body image. She's been open about the pressures of fame and how unrealistic beauty standards once dictated how she viewed herself. In her later years, she has become an advocate for self-acceptance and authenticity, encouraging women to embrace their natural selves. She even designed her beauty line with this philosophy in mind, emphasizing minimalism, clean products, and real beauty that enhances rather than hides. Another key aspect of her philosophy revolves around resilience. Victoria firmly believes that failure and struggle are essential parts of success. When her fashion brand faced financial difficulties, she didn't hide it, she talked about it openly, explaining how setbacks forced her to learn and adapt. She once said, "Success doesn't happen overnight. You fall down, you get up, and you keep going." This perseverance defines her identity more than any outfit or headline ever could. She also values privacy in an era that rewards oversharing. Despite living under constant public attention, Victoria maintains clear boundaries between her personal and professional life. She rarely discusses her marriage in detail and protects her children from unnecessary media exposure. This deliberate control is part of her broader philosophy: to stay grounded, protect what truly matters, and never let fame dictate one's happiness. On fashion, she views design as a reflection of self-respect and confidence rather than vanity. When you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you can take on the world. She once said a statement that captures her belief in the empowering side of style. Ultimately, Victoria Beckham's reflections and philosophies are about authenticity, discipline, and emotional growth. She has evolved from a young pop icon who chased approval into a mature woman who defines her own worth. Her message today is clear. Life is not about appearing perfect, but about embracing who you are, learning from your past, and walking confidently even if the world is watching. And now that we've reached the end of the story, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Behind every glossy magazine cover, every red carpet smile, and every glittering runway lies a world built not on beauty, but on power, manipulation, and quiet revenge. After Anna Wintour, the fashion world didn't soften, it became even darker, more competitive, and more ruthless. The queens who followed in her shadow learned from the best how to control the narrative, how to turn elegance into a weapon, and how to survive in a kingdom where loyalty is as fragile as chiffon. Victoria Beckham, Donatella Versace, Miuccia Prada, and the new generation of digital fashion moguls all operate in a post-Wintour reality, where influence isn't about creativity alone, it's about strategy, alliances, and silence. The downfall of traditional media created space for new empires, but also unleashed new forms of control, curated perfection, invisible hierarchies, and stories that never make the front page. What happens when fashion's queens stop ruling with fabric and start ruling with fear? What secrets still hide behind the shimmering veil of luxury? And most importantly, who's pulling the strings now that the devil no longer wears Prada, but power itself? As the cameras fade and the models step off the runway, what remains is a haunting reflection of our obsession with beauty and dominance. But this is far from over, because in the world of fashion, power never dies. It simply changes hands. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button, because that's what tells YouTube you want more fearless investigations like this one, the ones that go beyond the glamour and expose the truth beneath the gloss. Your subscription keeps this channel alive and gives us the strength to keep uncovering the untold stories behind fame and influence. And if you want to go even further, hit the super thanks button. It's a simple way to support this work directly, so we can keep digging into the hidden side of power. But if you can't, no worries, just leave a comment below and tell us which revelation shocked you the most, which queen you think truly rules fashion's dark empire. Every like, every comment, Every share helps this community grow. And don't look away yet, because the next story will take you even deeper into the shadows of power, where the final truth will leave you speechless.